Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's the new season of Ready to Love Miami, episode 1, The Mixer. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around and keep all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. Tommy vamps up the heat for a new season of Ready to Love Miami. They have rounded up 20 singles who are looking for love in a city that has a foundation for lust. It's up to the singles to be open to the process and start their journey to something amazing along with fun, the sun, and so much more. SAMPSON arrives, and he is surely the one who doesn't want to pursue a woman who does not want to pursue him as well. He prefers brains over Botox. You can't be straight up and down though. He needs curves. April knows exactly what she has and wants to bring it to the table. She's proud to be in amazing shape at 46 years of age. She meets SAMPSON and they meet with good vibes right off. She compliments his strong name and he jokes about how they just had wonderful April showers. TRANIKA is proud to be a whole vibe. If a man wants a small waist, she has it. A big butt, she got it. And hips, she got that too. She's never been married and has been in several weddings as a bridesmaid, but not a bride. She lets April know that she unfortunately fell and broke her wrist. More singles arrive and we meet SHAREESE. She's a boss and feels that intimidates men. She's not a diva, she's just looking for love. Calvin feels some men are good providers, some are sexual partners, and even some are protectors, but he is the full package. BRANDI digs Calvin and he lets her know that she's cool. She's a flight attendant and feels that her schedule is open. Sometimes it gets hectic, but this time she wants to make sure that her job won't stop her from having fun and finding her true match. ALONZO is ready for the mixer and gets right to the questions with the ladies. He's recently retired, but he's ready to love and enjoy his time of living life. KADIAN loves that ALONZO is retired and enjoying his life. That leaves more time for them to have fun together and maybe have sex here and there. I mean, you never know. Tommy arrives and everyone is excited to get things popping. The pool party has been great, but now it's time to focus and get past the lust and talk about love. RANDALL agrees. It's time to dig deep and get serious. Tommy wants everyone to learn below the surface. At the end of the day, 2 people are going home. BRANDI admits to being nail-biting nervous. Tommy announces that it's time to mix, mingle, and see if some other things start to tingle. Mike says to production that he doesn't approach a woman a lot because he is a little bit shy. And then you have to make sure that when you do approach them that you pick the right one. He wants to have meaningful conversations. Dominica loves Mike's smile. She's been single for 5 years and Mike caught her eye very quickly. Sean says a lot of people call him a walking red flag because he's 38, handsome, successful, and he hasn't been married. The truth is that he takes relationships and marriage very seriously. One of his main questions are if someone has a passport, it's important that one can be well-traveled. It gives people a wide perspective about life. He loves that about a woman. Jay tries to hold a conversation with him, but he can hardly remember her name. She wants to know if people get him. How do people usually categorize your personality? Jay doesn't like his surface-level responses. She's looking for more organic connections. Kay is digging SWASEY, but he gives off player vibes. Little does she know he has a CPR company and he's a firefighter who just loves helping others. He's all about positive energy despite seeing tragic things often. LJ is aware of the competition. He's from the islands. He has to go harder in life because he's from a small area coming to a large city. Shakira finds LJ refreshing. He looks great, smells amazing, and they learn that they both have children. The kids bring them joy. They have both been single for 3 years. She finds it intimidating to date with a child, especially in Miami. His last girlfriend cheated on him, and it was like a shot to the ribs. He's ready for something meaningful. Looney makes it known that Justice is a popular guy. He has a natural swag, and connecting with the women is not a problem. She wants to make sure that she gets as much alone time as possible. Even April wants a piece, but she didn't want to overwhelm him. When they get a moment alone, they get into meaningful conversation. His father wasn't around growing up, and he felt that he didn't get as much love as he would have liked. April can understand. She grew up the same way, although he communicates that he made sure to always be there to take care of his daughter. He's proud that they have a great relationship, and he got her through college. Tommy comes back, and it's about that time. He checks on everyone to see how the mixer is going. So far, so good, but Calvin got word that he had a family emergency. He decided that he would not continue the journey. He believes that it's important to be present while meeting someone, and right now, with the emergency, he can't be mentally present. The mixer continues. Shakira mentions that she wanted an older man, but Swasey makes a point. What, I can't be grown? A grown man at 30? He mentions to production that she doesn't realize that she's shutting out a lot of men that she can get to know. He jokes that when he was 16, he had a girlfriend that was 28 that used to buy him drinks, although Shakira doesn't find that funny. She doesn't like that everything he mentions is a joke. She's turned off from getting to knowing him or share the laughs. Devin is stressed out. There will be 2 people going home and that he's running out of time to get to know everyone. He turns up the competition by taking off his shirt and becoming a little bit more talkative. SHAREESE then notices Devin, and she says she normally goes for the fit guys and can't wait to work out with him, actually. She's from Maryland with no children. When she sparks up a conversation with Devin about children, he is reluctant to tell the truth about having a son. He tells production that there's a shame from him of having a child out of wedlock. Quickly, he noticed that he had to be open and honest in this process. He was afraid that people would judge him. His baby mother was someone that he only met once. He hardly sees his son, and there's nothing legally in place for him to see his son. He hardly sees his son at all. KADIAN, though, isn't buying the story, and they learn his son is 10 years old. She has no sympathy for a man who doesn't want to see his son based on his quote-unquote shame or so-called embarrassment. How can someone not have custody arrangement to see their child? Tommy wants a moment to speak with the ladies for a while. A lot of the women are feeling Justice, Mike, Randall, LJ, and SAMPSON. Now, who aren't they feeling? It's Sean, Devin, and Swasey. It's time. Tommy gathers everyone together after a long day within the mixer. One guy has to go home. Sean and Swasey are called forward. The ladies feel that they haven't embraced the process just yet. Sean is going home. Tommy wants Swasey, though, to step it up because tonight was a close one. Sean says his goodbyes and hopes for great things in the future. Tommy has to remind everyone that he said 2 people were going home. 1 down, 1 more to go. He allows a little bit more time for conversations. SAMPSON loves Looney's dimples and long braids. They make each other laugh. He loves her smile, and she gets his corny jokes. He explains that his parents were culturally different, but their love was so wonderful, and that's what he wants in life. His dad passed away from an unfortunate car accident, but he knows that true relationships don't give up on itself. Looney agrees that she wants things to always work out, but she should have let things go earlier. Her marriage of 5 years was toxic and unhealthy. SAMPSON wants her number so he can continue to get to know her more. She loves that he's consistent and very intentional. Jay and Randall share some time, and they were instantly attracted to one another and do some heavy flirting. That's quickly interrupted by DOMINICA. Jay doesn't want to stop talking to her rah-rah, but politely steps away to let them speak. As DOMINICA and Randall speak, SHAREESE throws a lot of shade about DOMINICA. She calls her loud and suggests that she should close her legs when she sits down. Kayla, though, can't wait to tell DOMINICA what SHAREESE says. Dang, it's super early to start talking about somebody, ain't it? SHAREESE and Mike chop it up, and she loves everything about him. We learned that Mike has 3 children from his previous marriage. He wants to settle down. When he asks her if she has any children, she says she has a dog, Lola. Michael really wasn't feeling SHAREESE's conversation, and he describes the situation to production as talking to a stranger at the doctor's office. Tommy now wants the scoop from the fellas. Several guys like Kayla, Jay, BRANDI, TRANIKA, Looney, and Shakira. Now, who aren't the guys digging? The name that keeps popping up is April and SHAREESE. It's time for the final elimination for the night. It's time for one woman to go home. He calls down SHAREESE and Dominica. The lady going home is neither one of them. They both are getting a second chance. He wants everyone to remember that each week, the power of elimination switches back and forth between the men and the women, along with some curveballs. And that is the end of the episode. And now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. Now, for those of you who have been rocking with me with these Ready to Love seasons, you already know that your girl keeps it 100 every season. Every season, I have been absolutely right about not only the couples that so-called evolve or which ones wouldn't last, and I have been absolutely right every single season. Now, for the newbies who are new to the channel, welcome. What's up? How you doing? Let me just say that the process of this channel is basically evaluating everything in the actions that we see on the show. I'm not the type of person that goes back and digs into their personal life and tries to find out and scoop about them. I don't do that because I've always said in each season that TV gone TV. When it comes to reality television, don't get too deep and emotionally equated into it because it's television. Production has a say-so, filming has a say-so, location has a say-so, the fluidity of the show has a say-so. So when it comes to true love, when it comes to true events that happen, a lot of the times it really ain't what it is. Okay, so I just take this as a show. I go off of what I see, what has been edited, and what's put out there, because that's basically all we could do. Because I wasn't there, you wasn't there. People gonna say what they want to say on their own pages, but we wasn't there. It's TV. Chill out. One thing that I have said each season, for those of you who have followed me after all this time, have always said that Ready to Love will basically blossom and just go super huge when they stop certain actions of the show. One of them that was my pet peeve is I believe that this whole Ready to Love show should be filmed in a mansion with everybody there for a certain set of time and they cannot leave. What will make it interesting if they constantly go on dates with people who request dates from them, and then they slowly start to vote each other off in private, and then when they go to their rooms, you know, if their stuff is gone, their luggage is gone, they're like, oh dang, they've been voted off, and that is a surprise. That is the kaboom at the end of the week, right? Nobody knows who's being eliminated, because when you do that and you have an elimination every week, you're really not giving everybody enough time to get to know one another. Think about it. You have all at the same time how you look, feel, react on television. Then 2, really trying to get to know somebody. Then 3, looking a certain way. Makeup, this, blah, 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 blah. Can you walk in this door a little better? Can you say that again? Oh, you tripped on the rug. Can you go back? So it's like the organic isms of this show are lacking. Right? Not to say that people aren't really making connections. What I'm saying is that if it's going to be true, every season when we really get to know people is when they go to a home or something and they're there over the weekend. Because when you're there over the weekend, you see each other constantly, the real you comes out. Right? How you sit, how you talk. Do you eat crazy? Are you taking a bath every day? Or do you have an attitude? Are you become more chill when you're laying in the bed or when you're sitting on the couch? Those are your true isms that come out, your personality, all that little stuff. So I think that would really spark with the show. Now I'm gonna say some things that a lot of people probably won't agree with, and y'all gonna say something, but it's okay. But I've said this every single season. I'm ready for another host. I love me some Tommy, don't get me wrong, but we need another host. We need to evaluate casting, because I've said every season, majority of men that come on the show, they would like children. Majority of the women that come on the show, they want to get married and have children. If we starting to look at these age ranks that are being casted on the show, they're not matching. You either need to have older men, younger women, or you either need to have women who are older who don't want children and the men agree. They need to match up. Not to sound like somebody that has an ism in certain things again, but this is television. Sometimes you need these fresh, ripe, super young couples to get out there, black and beautiful, to get out there and have fun, and they're doing activities and all this other stuff. Sometimes you need that to really rile up a show. And the fizzle is starting to fizzle. Now, what did help this season, as I mentioned last season, what they needed, and they probably heard me, that what would help with this next season, which is the one we're currently watching, is for it to take place in a tropical, sunny, bright area. And what did they do? They took it to Miami. We're seeing the beach, we're seeing the air, we're seeing the colors, and it's bringing some refreshing light to the table. Now, do understand and remember that we had a pandemic. And the production team, I think they just really wanted to keep it pushing out and keeping it going. And when they came out with all these seasons, all of the fans are just like, man, they got another one already? So it felt rushed. It felt like, man, pump the brakes and have us craving and one more, not just flipping them out like hotcakes. Slow down a little bit. Let's process the last cast and let's go from there. But instead, I think they wanted to keep the fire going of the show. And if they would have waited 1.5 years or 2 years, it's very possible that the audience would have been like, I don't want to watch that no more. That's whack. So what they did was they kept the interest going. They made people go on Instagram. They made people make their stories. They made people say what they want to say. And, ooh, this is what really happened. Because the drama always brings the views, unfortunately. But with this season, I usually do, each season, what I think about each person, what I think about, the cast. But TV gon' TV. I have to kind of, by the second or third, episode kind of weigh on how I feel about everybody's personality. But it's TV. We don't know how many of these individuals actually knew each other before. We don't know. Another thing I've said each season, I really would appreciate it if the production team would have the reality cast, sign NDAs. When you sign NDAs, it will make the show better. What I mean by that is usually cast members will go on Instagram Live or go on their own YouTube or go wherever their platforms are and give out details about either the future or either details about an episode that hasn't aired yet, or something of a reunion, or we seeing them kicking it, and on the show we think they beefing. That spoils why should I even watch the episodes anyway. So I think they should sign NDAs. I think it should be a rule that you can say whatever you want to say after the very last episode airs. Then you can go ham. Because when you do that, now we're looking forward to the reunion special. If you've told me all the details and everything that I need to know, why am I watching the reunion special? And they need to stop making each season 25 episodes, 13 episodes. There's no reason for that. Keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it about 8 episodes, the reunion in 2 parts, and be one and done. You're going to exhaust your audience, and especially when they have those weeks where it's just breaks. Stop it. It's reality TV. Stop stretching it out so far. I know you have a successful show, but it gets draining, especially when you have the cast every week, which are probably instructed by the production. Hey, every week, go on there and say something. Talk to your friend. Which I get. But when it comes to that, it's like, then you have to remember that these are human beings. Yes, they signed up for a reality show. And then some people will argue, well, they signed up for a reality show, and if something happens online, that's them. Blah, 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 blah. But, nowadays you really got to watch it. It's not like, they've been in reality shows their entire lives. You don't know who's going to be trying to be an actress. You don't know who's trying to be seen. You don't know this. You don't know that. So it's like when you do that, it opens the door for people to research who your family is, research who your kids are. Sometimes it just goes a little bit too deep. So if you keep the energy of it's a show, it's a reality show, and then after the show is over, then you can dive in and just really start spilling some other teas. Okay, but that's what the reunion is for. Y'all, let me know what you think. I think we need a new host. I think we need younger cast members, because the way that they rocking and rolling is, it's not ready to love, it should be ready to love again. Or I'm married and divorced, ready to be, in another marriage. Like, it's giving me AARP, ready for love, ready to love. It's giving me your insurance premiums are really low and we trust you on the road. That's what it's giving me. Stop trying to put a 46-year-old with a 30-year-old, okay? And then the 30-year-old wants a kid and they're like, well, maybe this could work. Stop, okay? Just stop. Let me know what you think. I usually go ham with it, but I only go off of the show. Okay, I don't know these people. All right, they're human beings. I ain't trying to figure out what's going on. I'm looking at the show. If you need to look at the previous seasons, make sure that you check that in the playlist. Check out other shows as well. Also, stay tuned for Bell Collective. I am reviewing season 2 of that as well. It's a very diverse channel, so stay tuned for House of Dragon, HBO, the original series for the Game of Thrones fans. Whoop whoop. Anywho. In the meantime, in between time, remember to take care of yourself and each other. Remember to like this video, share, and comment. See you next time. Bye.